r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What is the worst job you've ever had? Cleaning toilets at McDonald's. I worked at a DVD store, doing floor stuff, organizing shelves, putting out new stock, that sort of thing. Fun job for me. We had a rewards program you could sign up for. Very few people did, and our numbers were bad. So my boss got the brilliant idea to put cute little 19-year-old me in a low-cut top to stand in the anime section and encourage the dudes to sign up for it. I guess he figured dudes who buy anime are sad and lonely and would be pleased at any attention from a girl. The sad thing is that it totally worked. It was super degrading, and I only worked there for a few more weeks before I got another job that didn't depend on my cleavage. Concert security. I was a huge fan of the artist and couldn't turn around to watch. It was so tempting and an overall bad time. I've never had a bad job. I have had bad bosses. The stress was horrible. Burger King was my first job, and I got fired after a month because at the end of the day, instead of throwing away leftover burger, I gave them to homeless people. Not allowed, so they fired me. That was back in 1999. Silverado Plumbing in Tucson. It was a bunch of 40-year-old women who acted like they were the mean girls in high school. Worked as a teller at a bank, same story. Glad I got out. Hoeing tobacco. I was 14, and it was a summer job for $40 a day. 7 AM to 4 PM. I did it for one day. For that kind of money, you are better off just being a regular hoe. I worked at a daycare center, and the building was so old and run down. My classroom carpet was disgusting. It had pee and vomit spots all over. Broken toys, ripped up books, no supplies, just horrible. Mice would run around the children while they slept on their cots at nap time. I ended up quitting and calling the state on them. Walmart distribution center. When Amazon was under fire for their mistreatment of employees, I watched an interview, and the distribution center I worked at was so much worse. Had to engage with people's YouTube content and watch their videos fully, including ads, and send them proof. 100 videos a day. Pretty sure you could automate that shit, depending proof asked, but apart from screenshots and transcripts of and ads. What kind of pay? Might ask to hook me up. Trust me, you don't want that. Anyways, they closed their business. Screenshots of ads and your laptop or phone clock that you've watched the full video, and then sending the screenshots to the owners. Troublesome in the least. Not to mention, the pay was lesser than the minimum wage. Anti-drug costumed bird for dare at the Illinois State Fair during a heat wave. Shoners. Waiting tables for $2.13 an hour, especially on Sundays, when the church crowd would come rushing in. They would get seated in parties as large as 25 people, all with separate tickets, and all rude as fudge. And church people are the worst tippers on earth. Many of them don't tip at all, except for leaving church tracts in place of money. McDonald's. My schedule was all over the place. I could have 40 hours one week, 25 the next, then 0 after that. It was random. The kitchen was hot at all times during the summer, but they refused to fix the air conditioning. We had half the staff quit at the same time due to the excessive heat, which put a heavy strain on the rest of us. Management would sit in the office playing games on their phone for their entire shift. Junkies coming in and passing out was a common occurrence. A lot of the time they had to be given Narcan in the middle of the restaurant. Customers were the most horrible human beings. I had to physically defend myself multiple times. A lot of customers were also verbally abusive, and having the cops escort Karens off the property was an almost daily occurrence. There's a lot more, but my phone is about to die. So far. Graveyard shift at a grocery store. My mental health took a freaking plummet because of being up all night and sleeping through the day. Night shift takes some serious willpower, eh? I remember getting depressed when my interaction with my friends drastically dropped during night shift and I'd be too tired on my Sunday off to go see them. Weird thing is, now that I'm back to days, I miss the peace of night shift. I worked at a call center that seemed shady enough that I expected it to be raided by the cops. I lasted a week. And it did eventually get raided. Fast food drive-through during the lunch rush, pure madness in a headset. Working in an old people's home as a care assistant. Not worth £11 an hour to have to wipe asses and get called out all night. McDonald's. Each location, no matter suburbs or more city, people treat you like trash because it's just McDonald's and because the customer is always right, even when they aren't, was the motto. Never ever again. Or mill reliner, swinging a sledgehammer all day, smashing big bolts, and lifting big rubber liners onto a conveyor. If not that, being an underground miner using a big air-powered rock drill for 11 hours straight. My first job was a seasonal job at a Sprint retail store about 10 years ago, when their network and service sucked, before the merger with T-Mobile. People used to come in and complain that their cell signal was terrible or non-existent at their home. I'd pretend to look their address up on the computer and then tell them that we had plans to build a new tower in their area in August and that they should come back in September if they still had problems. My seasonal job ended at the end of August. McDonald's, you get treated like trash by the public. It's even worse if they put you on the night shift because you now get drunks added to the mix. Now that I've worked there, if ever I go to a fast food place, I'm super nice because I know how shitty the job is. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more. Have a nice evening. Tell your friends about me.